Hello, hello. Okay. I don't hear the music though. That's normal. No, I should hear the music. Who's this? Oh yeah, I hear the music now. Cool. Yay! Yay! It's working. Cool. Excellent. Excellent. We're getting there. And if I do this, Cloud is here. CB is here. Excellent. And that's why I've been not streaming. I still have I'm still finishing a little cold thing. Okay, let's close this. I was having YouTube playing just to keep my window active. Now I should start. Start. We'll say 2d6 dungeon. Is it? It's been so long. I forgot all my stuff is working. Are you surprised? I'm not. Okay. Oh, I hope. Start. No. To do. Score. Clean. Load. Save. I think it's recording. Hopefully it is. Okay. Let's keep it that big. Okay. I feel like this is huge though. Oh, that was okay. Okay, like this, like that. Cool. Okay. Okay. Is it reload required? Done with that. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, I didn't try my animation. Oh, where's it? Let's give it a try. Will it works? I think that was very, very loud. I'm sorry about that. I I had I didn't stream for a few weeks. I think close to a month. And I bought some new gear, so I have now Streamer X, and I thought I will simplify my gear setup. I'm streaming usually with two PCs, working with my big machine on Windows, and to maintain the stream and the CB and all those things. And I'm having like a second laptop where it's a cleaner environment for like just like dev environment, and most of the time it's running Linux. So I thought it would be easier, but this morning I couldn't get all the sound go through how it's supposed. So I'm guessing I misread. And it's been a month that I read the instruction on the Streamer X. So this morning I was just kind of like trying to rush it, hack my way through. My camera also was having some issue. They decide to not work, decide to not focus. It was weird. And guess what was the solution? Turn it off and turn it on didn't work, but in fact, yeah, it worked. But instead of using the switch button, I needed to use. I'm using a dummy battery, so I need to remove the battery. So like, no power at all. Anyway, oh yeah, I'm always having this thing distracting. Oh, we'll keep it that way for now. So very happy to be back. And today exciting stream. It will be a lot of how it's working again, because it's been, like I said, a month. I did travel, so I went to New York for the Microsoft AI tour. Was presenting about Fabric. If you don't know about Microsoft Fabric, it's an incredible, pretty cool tool. It's for databases and stuff like that. Data source, not database. Well, databases, like all stuff data. Let's put it that way. So I did that, and coming back, well, I catch pretty big cold with or flu, whatever is the strongest one, with fever and everything. So I got sick. I still have that problem with my throat where it cannot clear it. So I'll be drinking a lot of water, and hopefully I'm fine. I don't need to do a pause for a bio break, or maybe I will. We'll see. So I'm sorry if my voice is not as the best today, or if I cough a few things. I will try to be quick and mute myself. Maybe I should try to put the mic button. I have a mute button. Let me try to move things around so I have the mute button accessible kind of quickly. Like this. Hopefully you didn't hear that. Okay. So the plan of today is, let's minimize this, minimize that, go back here. And we'll go like this. Just like, oh, can I just, barely. Maybe I'm too big. Let's talk about a new app I've been building. Most of it, I think my last stream, I kind of work on pieces related to that project. And today I want to show what I've been working on. I did publish some YouTube video about it, kind of like journey. So, and this is behind my cloud. So this is me figuring out stuff, trying to show that even if you have many experience, a year of experience behind your belt, you still need to try and fail and learn and search, and at the same time, we have fun. So 2d6 dungeon. Let me 2 seconds. 2d6 dungeon is a game. Like, let me go back in full so we can see it correctly. Here by Toby Lancaster, and it's a dungeon crawler game. So, like, this is the rule book, and this is the bunch of tables with like different table. I will explain. And yeah, let's go back to this. Feel less in your face. So 2d6 dungeon is a dungeon, like it's a dice and paper game. I bought it on Kickstarter. Right now he's doing a realm. So that was for a dungeon. Now realm is like a full map, and like so it's map and maps, and it's amazing, guys. Brilliant. And so I was this game, you roll the dice, 2d6, right? That's why it's 2d6 in the name. So you roll that, and let's say the first time it says 2 and 4. So it means your room is 2 by 4 on the map. So you draw this, and then after that you re-roll. And let's say again you have 2 and 6. Now you need to read it as 26. And you go in that table book, and you look the definition of the let's say 2 by 6, 2 by 4. That's probably a small room. So you go in like small room, and you look the definition of 24, and it's like it's a prison with blah 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 blah. So like now you know what's in that and like what you need to do, and then you decide. It's kind of a Dungeon and Dragon game. So like it's role based. So you decide, okay, I'm exploring this, and then you will roll dice and stuff like that. So I had those books, and I was going with the family and holiday, and I was like, I think it would be cool to. Whoa! What's that? Oh, I've been raid by TBD Gamer. Awesome! Hey! Welcome. Oh, should I wait? Is there an ad? Welcome, everybody. Yeah, it's been a long time. And if you hear correctly in my voice, you will know why. I was sick. I did travel, and then I got sick. And even if I'm not top shape today, I decide, oh, you know what? Let's give it a try. And if I feel like I cannot talk anymore, it's too painful, then I will stop. But I want to share what I've been working on. Well, like even that, I paused kind of everything for the past 3 weeks. So even that today, I was like thinking, oh, maybe I should prepare before, because, and then I just didn't have time. So yeah, I want to share my game. So welcome everybody. I'm Frank Boucher. I'm a .NET developer, and I love the cloud. I love Azure, and I like to build stuff for fun and experiment and try different things. And I was just sharing about. So I just start. So I will just recap very quickly. This is a game that I bought on Kickstarter. It's called 2d6 by Toby Lancaster. I'll go bigger so you could see it. So this is the rule book, and this is the table with like all the stuff. So it's a dungeon. Hey, thank you for the follow. Very appreciated. I have new sounds, or maybe, I don't know. I'm not used anymore to those sounds. I changed so many things in my stuff for a while. Okay, so yeah, game recap quickly. So it's a paper and dice game. So you roll the dice. Let's say you have 2 and 4. That define the size of your room. So 2 by 4, and then you roll again. So that's a small room by the rule set. You roll again, and let's say you have again 2 and 4, but this time you need to read it as 24. So you go in the other book, in the tables, in the small room, and you read the definition of the room 24. And let's say it's a prison. So like there's stuff there's a guard, and blah, 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 like kind of description of the room. And then you decide what you need to do. You need to maybe encounter, so you have a fight to do with that guard, or maybe you try to convince him to whatever. So you have dice roll and stuff like that. So I had that game. So Kickstarter, I bought it. It's awesome. Now the Kickstarter that Tubby is working on is 2D6 Realm. So it's 2D6 Dungeon. The game I just show you the book is kind of like one dungeon. 2D6 Realm is a map. So like it's a map in map in map. Like it's crazy. It's pretty cool. So anyway, back in the holiday, say, you know what, I will bring this. I think it will be cool. It's a solo game, though I think some people are trying to play at 2 people, and it's working well apparently. But for me, it was like I bought it as like, you know, trying to disconnect, not necessarily be on my computer, not code, just kind of like chill. And I brought that, and I thought I would be able to play and add the equivalent. I had the PDF, so I say, you know what, I will put the PDF on my tablet. I found an app to roll the dice, and I'm like, that would be cool. So I will be able to play, let's say, in the car when I'm not driving because we had a long road to do, or maybe I will play in the morning when like everybody's sleeping, or in the evening. And then I realized that it was painful because you need to flip. Like there was too many apps involved. Draw the map and go in the PDF and try to find it, and like there was no quick way to go through everything, and it was kind of like, so I wish we had an app, kind of a companion app that could help us. So I reached out to Toby and I explained my idea, and it was like, yeah, give it a shot. So I started doing it, and because I'm less comfortable coding, I did try to code it because I'm a .NET developer in .NET MAUI, but I'm on Linux. When I did start, it was not possible. Now it is possible, though I'm not sure my laptop is strong enough to have like all the resource required to do it, because I did try to hack my way. Anyway, I did try to do it in .NET MAUI, but it was slowing me down. There was a lot of new tech for me, and I felt the project was not progressing, and I coded for fun. So I said, you know what, let's have an idea of like how I could build this and how I could code the rules and things like. I don't want to make a digital version of the game. I still want to have to need to buy the book. Like it's not a replacement, it's a companion. So like it's to help. So I was like, you know, no web, so let's give it a shot, and I start working on that, and that's what I want to show you. So it is open source, so let me put that in chat so you can have a look if you're interested. And I think that's the game I talked about. I think last time I saw you, TBD, you were streaming, was I should talk to you about the game I'm working on. That's the game. So maybe you need to go, so bookmark that and watch later. Maybe you can help me. So just briefly, so I built some UI. I will show you like it's running. So you could create an adventure, and I'm trying to use the same vocabulary as Tubby. So like, and right now the UI is like, it's much prettier than it was because I implemented, so it's using Blazor. So the front end is a Blazor WebAssembly app. Not sure we'll continue with WebAssembly. Maybe I will go and use the server and then use the new feature in .NET 8 with different rendering and stuff like that to get better performance. But at the same time, like it's supposed to be solo, so I'm not sure. And I think eventually what I will do is I will take that Blazor site and put it inside the hybrid mode with .NET MAUI, so you can have a web app inside an app. So I will be able to have it on tablet and phone and whatever. So I'm not sure, like, I'm not sure if I continue WebAssembly or if I don't care, and so whatever is easier after that to go on device, because that's kind of my end target, I think. So it was not that pretty, and then I discover Fluent UI for Blazor. I implement that, so I migrated I still need to write some blog posts or do video about like migrating. We did a series on Open at Microsoft. /open at Microsoft. So we did a series of 3 video about that because I thought the project was awesome. So I reached out to the PM and said, hey, would you like to do that? Like show the word, oh, it's cool. So we did a series. So we did 3 videos. So here's the first one. Get it started with Fluent UI Blazor, and then exploring the component and advanced scenario. Those are pretty cool. So I'll just put that here if you're interested to learn more about this. You had a 1 or 2 package, NuGet package in your project, and then like you could have very cool UI like this. It's simplified the code, and it looks nice. And I think since I did that, they had 3 release of like adding new component, fixing bugs. So like this is really good. Yeah, no problem, TBD. Have a good day. Like usually when we finish streaming, it's kind of like the end. So no worry. Like I'm happy you rated me. It was a big pleasure seeing you. Thank you. So yeah, so I did that. So the front end is, like I said, Blazor WebAssembly for now. And then I have an API. The API run right now in a container. In fact, right now, the API run in a container. I'm using the data API builder. That with one file configuration file is kind of scaffold a full API based on your database. So I will show you that, but that's pretty cool. So you just have one file. You see DAB for data API builder, DAB. So you say DAB start and just kind of boom, you have a full API with security, with everything. That's pretty cool. You could also have GraphQL. I may switch to GraphQL. I did learn more stuff, and I think I could have better fine tuning for the kind of queries that we do in this app. Maybe it will be better to use GraphQL because I could filter a little bit more than like just REST. It's kind of like the app that will be the heavy lifting. Not sure yet how it go. Like it's early process and it's kind of multiple iteration. You will see the code right now is kind of not as best as it could be. I'm kind of like say, oh, like I don't know how to do this part of the game, and then I kind of investigate that part. The database also run in a container, and for me, the reason why I did that was just I'm moving a lot where I work on this project. So I was like, I don't want to install a database everywhere, and then like, oh, I need to drop the database and create the database again and stuff like that. And one thing I don't like with or like having it in the cloud, that could be a solution, but then like you're paying for it, and that thing right now, it doesn't need to have like a big database. It just need a few records. So I kind of like, it's responsive, right? So I created a database in a container, and I'm using SQL file. So when I create that container, I will go read this to seed my database and inject the first data in it. And it's working very well. So I want to show you that, how I did it. So right now, I'm not doing SQL Lite. Good point, deflux streams. I was thinking about that. I'm using right now, I think it's MySQL. If I'm not like, because I did use MySQL and I used the full SQL, Microsoft SQL database for experimenting and when I did some videos. So like right now the apps support 2 type of databases. But so I want to show you that. So I have containers. So in my dev environment right now, I have one command that will spawn 2 containers, one for the database, then it will get populated with the SQL. So then you could create new stuff, delete, update, whatever you want. When you delete the container, creating again, you have a fresh database. Pretty cool. And that first command will also create the API, and then you could just start the app that will connect to those, and you can run. I was trying to have 3 containers because I love dev containers. The reason why I love dev containers is when I do open source project, if you want to try it, you don't need to install anything. You just need to have Docker. You go run the Docker hub, Docker Compose hub, and you have everything. But I felt, maybe it's me, but I felt WebAssembly, it was not possible to debug. I had strange error, and I still didn't have the 100% confirmation that it's not supported. So I'm not sure if it's I was doing something wrong or if it was not supported. But anyway, so that's the project. Here are like some video I created, where I explain. So we'll talk about that. But that's the database, the project. I was explaining how I did the database. So like I did some video by connecting them there. And right now, the way I work, I created an alias on my side, but Docker Compose, and then I specified the Compose API up, and you have everything. It will turn on the database, turn on the API, and then you just do a .NET run, and you have it. So that's pretty cool. And then like you go and the app runs. So let me show you how it works. So let's minimize this, and we'll go in VS Code. It compiles. I didn't try it for a little while. Let's see it, and then we'll dig into the code a little bit more. What I would like to do today, and I was thinking about what should I do? What should I do? I was not sure what I will be working on. I'll go full mode also. Should I? Because right now, like where I am in the game about to code, have you got around using Aspire? No, that's the thing. Also, Aspire will be pretty cool, though. I didn't do it right now. The thing is, I think I could use Aspire even locally, though. But the app right now is not in a container, so that's the thing. The app right now is running like on my machine. The database and the API are running there, and DAB is not yet supported natively. With Aspire, it's coming. The team is working on, but because otherwise I would have done that like right last week, not last week, but I asked the PM and I was like, hey, is it possible? And it's like, yeah, we're working on that. So I think what would be cool. So in the game, I'm at where I need to think about the fight, the battles, how like there's a proper way. The rules are different, kind of like you put different cards, and like it's let's say it's a different window in the app. It will definitely be a different window, and like that's a different situation. Like you're in the battle now. Like there's suggestion are different than just like a map. So that's where I am in the game, but I would love to try to deploy it in Azure. So then I could have fun. I don't think I did anything. Like I did mess around with Docker, Azure Container App, but with only one container. So I thought that would be cool to have 2 or 3 container with Azure Container App. And since it's like, usually it should be, well, like, right now it's just one user, so I don't care if it like doesn't scale that much. So that could be cool. And then I could have like some kind of CI/CD, and I have like a demo where people could try it and stuff like that. So instead of like improving the game itself, I thought it could be cool to like be able to deploy, like try to deploy. I think that's what I want to work today. I'm not sure, like I have no idea how to do it, to be honest. So like it will be a lot of search, but I have some ideas. So I want to do it manually. If I can do it manually, then I will be able to build a CI/CD, and then each time I update the game, then that demo will be able to get updated. So like that's kind of my thought. So instead of like spending more time in the app right now, even if like that's where I want to go because I want to play with it. I think it would be fun to try to deploy it. So I think today we'll play and try to deploy that app in there. So let's run it. Let's do, is it just here? No, it's this. Let's do an F5. No, I didn't start this. So first here, if I do 2d6, where am I? 2d6. So 2d6 start, it's an alias, and it will just run the command for the Docker Compose up. Oops. And here the app is created. Right now, I don't have the notion of like logging in with a user password just for simplicity, but that's what I'm thinking about. So so the app right now, I think, could be in 3 containers. One for the database, and the database doesn't need to be in a container. I just thought it will be interesting. So, like how it's built right now, at least you need a container for the API. That's kind of like, that's how I was taught, and that could be very, very, very easy to do. Like I could be doing that extremely easy. Even with a static web app, you could just like put that file and everything will be magic. It will just happen. I will have like the API deploy in Azure. So I could be doing that. The database, it could be a real database. It doesn't need to be in a container. I just thought it was interesting. So if I wanted, I could just like have a SQL database in Azure. Could be like MySQL, could be a SQL database, whatever, and run my script manually. And then like have the API using DAB. I just have to have that config file that I will show you attached to the static web app, Azure static web app, and it will be automatic. I think you can also do it. I'm not sure if it's available. I know it's a feature coming up. So I'm not sure yet if it's possible, but like I know it, like in the future, it was planned to have it also for container app. So it could be that. And then the app right now, it's like it's a Blazor WebAssembly. So I could have like multiple static web app, but right now I was planning to have it in 3 containers. So like if I'm deploying today in Azure Container, it will be 3 containers. And because I have SQL file that need to be read, so I need to mount a folder. So in that storage, I could put the file, and then when that container is created, it will be able to read the file and like populate the database. So right now, let's say I want to load the adventure. If I go there, there's no adventure. I have a few. So like in settings, I can change the color if I want. I could go dark mode, right? That was extremely easy to do using the Fluent UI. I did nothing, just say, hey, put that feature, and it just worked. That was pretty cool. I have a screen for doing test map. I had some database tested to see if it was working. Maybe I need to, oh, maybe it was working. Cool. So I'm able to read the database. I had some tests trying to have some really random stuff for the dice. So like those are the pages, I'm building it. So like those are the page where I want to test a very specific feature. And if I go to home, that's kind of like the real game. So let's create a new adventure just to see how it feels. So you can say a new adventure. So I already have adventurer, but let's create a new one. We'll call it TBD Gamer. So TBD Gamer. TBD Gamer will have, let's say, Great Axe. Okay, cool. So now that we have a Great Axe, the way it works is we need to select 2 maneuver. Those are action we can play. So let's go with that first one and that second one. Armor piece. Let's go with the pad tunic. And right now, like I said, like I just put it there this way. Now they have they have a new component in Fluent UI. I think will be better suited for what I'm doing here, but right now it's okay. We have a magic scroll when we start, and that's all part of the rule set. They say, hey, you have a 4 ration, a heal potion. You need to pick a magic scroll. So what's kind of like set by the rules? So like 4 ration and 1 healing potion. I'm adding it already by code to your user, but what you need to pick, I'm letting you pick. So right now, the magic scroll, let's go with mental whip. So a damaging psychic attack. Cool. So now we save it, and now we have TBD Gamer created experience 0 level 1, just like getting started. So if I say, you know what, I'm picking that. So now I have that table again, just leveraging the component inside Fluent UI Blazor. So now I have a game, an adventurer. I'm always saying player, an adventurer. So now we need to create a dungeon. So again, in the rule, the book rule, like there's a proper way to do it, and there's like even a flow. So okay, you need to do this and this and that. So here you roll the 2d6 to determine the entrance of the dungeon. So like the dungeon has a map, and here I'm like, and here that's where I'm having also trouble is I'm using Canva, so a lot of JavaScript, and the best with JavaScript. So, and maybe, I'm not sure. Can you see there's dots there? So you have a definition. I forgot how like what was my plan, 2020 or something like that. So you have your dungeon. So now you need to specify the entrance. That will be a lobby. And by definition, a lobby has 3 doors. So the entrance by where you got in, and 3 doors. Each room, when you are in the game, you need to roll to see how many doors. And you could even roll again to try to put them randomly around specific walls and stuff like that. That part, I thought the companion will be doing it for us. Like, you know, like some little difference between, I thought like, you know, you're rolling to put some randomness on how you put the door and stuff. I thought, you know, if the code is doing it for you, then that's random, right? So right now we roll to d6, and right now I'm kind of like doing everything. So I roll, I have this room, so I was like 2 height, 3 wide, and I then add, so like the blue door, let's put it, if I go, I think here, maybe it will be better. Yeah. And just 1 second. Cool. So the blue door is by where we got in, and it's always in the middle of the south wall. And then after that, because I know for this one, we like by rule definition, we have 3 doors to set, and I put them randomly. So if we re-roll this, we'll have a different room size, and the door will be located at different places. By definition, those doors are regular. They're like just closed. They're not locked. They're like not enforced. They're like no arch. It's just like regular doors. So now we have it. So we could start. When we start, that brings us. So now we have like the full dungeon. If I refresh the Canva. Yeah, okay. So now we have the full kind of like dungeon size. And at the bottom, we have the lobby. That's what it's called, the lobby in the game. So now I could pick a door. So that's where I was. So now I have different tab. Let's just zoom again. And I will refresh. So see, like that's what I was saying. Like I was having trouble with the Canva in my JavaScript, and like that's why I had that button where I say like if you zoom, somehow the app was losing where things were. So I just put the button to kind of like hack my way through. So right now I'm in the tab dungeon. I could go see adventurer. So right now there's nothing. In the other stuff, that's where I will be able to see it all, like the proper inventory, or I don't know, like other things. maybe some notes. And adventure here, I will have like the inventory and stuff. Right now, I didn't implement, so I'm just showing what I know. And it's like the game, the XP level, and stuff like that. What I did implement is, so right now, like have the next step. So hey, this is the entrance of the dungeon. The room is empty. Pick a door. So like you need to pick a door. It would be cool to just click on that, but then I need to interact with the Canva, and like I was like, oh, that would be hard. Even just positioning the next room may be a challenge for me. So like if someone is a good JavaScript developer, feel free to reach out and let's work together. So what I did now is pick a door. So I have this because, so here this is 100% dynamic. So it will suggest doors, though like north, south, it should be disabled. I thought I did that. So see right now, like, so you can say, oh, I'm going north. So you pick a door. Now you could say boom. And now like I would roll and I had that new room over there and like roll the dice and blah, 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 and that now will continue. So that's where I am in the game right now. So like doesn't feel much, but to get there I had to build a database. I had to build that API. I had to like have the code and like implement a lot of rules and like structure and build component and like understand how to communicate with that Canva. It was my first time using Canva and be able to draw a door where I wanted and stuff like that. And you know, it's home project, so spare time. But that's how it is right now. The database, is it? If I go Swagger, so API builder, build a full API. So I have like the rooms, so I could just like see all the rooms. Let's say I go and see get here. If I run it, I will have like all the room. And right now what I did is I just like put some of the stuff. I'm planning to, what will be in the open source game will be the first level only. So like the dungeon has multiple level, 10 I think, and like I will just put stuff for the first level. But right now, because I need to type manually everything, on purpose, I just picked a few, and like let's, like as you see here, yeah, you see it. I didn't finish to put all the description. It was just for me to have different text and see if it was working. So like you have all the room, you could go and have a specific one if you want. Body search, when you like when you do an encounter, you could search the bodies loot. In other games, that's how we call it. Adventurer. So for example, if I do get all adventure, let's try it out. So what I have is in the player table, I have just, how do I zoom again? No, this. Oh, that was that. This. That was this. No, this. This. Ah, voila. So I have a very simple table for the player where I just like have the ID, like XP, the name, the level, and then I serialize the full object. So if we deserialize, that's where we'll have like the inventory, the plate, armor, and all those things. So right now, if I want to go and say I want the TBD was the 3. So if I go again in my, and like that API was scaffolded with one file. We'll show you that. So right now, if I go adventure, could go like this. And if I put, let's try it out, and I put 3 here, then I will have the player, execute. Didn't work. Oh, adventure. No, I need to go adventurer. That's the thing I always do. Adventurer. So I need to go this one. Cool. Now I put So I still have that. And it's in the code app that yeah, I thought about it. I just thought because right now I'm adding more column and stuff, it was easier to just serialize and just put it there. You know, the game is evolving always, so this way I didn't. It was one less table to kind of like maintain. I think I could. Yeah, indeed, sneaky. It was, lazy up to, I don't know, like maybe sneaky. I thought it was smart. Since like the table keep changing because I was like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need that. Then it's an object. I just like serialize it and then voila, it works. Yeah, so you could do that. Obviously, you could also call it. If I do this, like it's an API, so you could just, if I remove this, you could just call it like that. Stop. Never translate polish. TBD is polish. Or maybe try to understand that. I don't know. So like it's a proper API, right? And it is scaffolded by. And by the way, Data API Builder is also open source project. Pretty cool project. Why it's white? Interesting. So there it is. It support multiple different API and stuff like that. Like I said, it's also supporting GraphQL. Pretty cool. So let's put that in the chat. Oh, we're not there in the cloud stuff yet. It was .NET and API Builder that I was showing, but glad you walked the dog. Mine is unhappy today. It's just like snoring over there. Tiny ball of fur. My wife is at home today, and I think she just want to go up and see her, but my wife won't let her in her office anyway. Okay, so I show you this. So now I think it's time that we dig into the code, showing you a little bit more how things work code side. And if you have questions and you want to see something specific, let me know. I just want to show stuff so we know where are the pieces. Like there's no magic, but now we need to so quickly. If I show, let's close this. Let's go here. If I expand this and change side, voila. So I have a dev container, like I said. The one I'm using, I have different Docker Compose file because let's say you just want to validate that your script is working or stuff like that. So I was like, oh, let's do like a Docker Compose for just the database. But the one I'm always using is that one Docker Compose API. So what it has two containers. So like there's the, if I start by the bottom one, there's the server. So whoop, I'm big in that screen. I should be smaller than that. Everything was weird today. I need to readjust all my screens. So yeah, I'm using MySQL. Was not sure. I'm using MySQL. I think I have another one for like my SQL server. So I do this, and right now I'm using like password. I'm running that locally, so I didn't care about like having something more stronger than that. And it's clear text. It's exposed because it's running in a container and like it's local. So I don't thought it was important to have more security than that. And then I have, like I said, like I'm mounting a volume, and I'm having like the first SQL that I rename one because they will be read and ingest in alphabetic order. So I could have put like 1 dash schema or 2 well, I just whatever. I did it this way. So the first one is schema. We'll create the database, the table. Sorry, and the second one is bunch of inserts. They are here under scripts. So if I go schema, so I create the table. Yeah. So the schema. Oh, you cannot see it. I'm too big in that screen. So I have schema and I have schema for the SQL server. They are a little bit different. Like I said, I did when I did the video on YouTube, I was using the SQL server just because at the same time also I want a new. Is it just like what I build? Is it just kind of like attached, kind of like I need absolutely to have my SQL, or can I do it with other things? And one thing also is right now I think the DAB, the Data API Builder, I think it doesn't support store procedure with MySQL, and I wanted to test that. So that's why I also try SQL database. Right? If I go data, no, maybe schema. I created a store proc here. Maybe it was just in my video. You could do that. But I think what I will probably end up, if I think I need to have store procedure, I think I will instead use the query thing. Well, why I have a blank? I forgot the name. The query thing. Why I have a blank? Anyway, the configuration. So to create that, oh yeah, let's go back to the Docker Compose. So that's for the server. That's it. For the other, it's my API box. So I'm using the image. They have a Data API Builder image. So I'm using this, and I'm waiting for the database to be created. Otherwise, it will fail. So there's that. And what you do is you just like in the volume. Yeah. So I did. I didn't try to run. I didn't try to use local DB because I was not sure how big it will be, and in my head, local DB could be like local DB. It's good when you're deploying, like when you're working locally, but then if I deploy, I will still need to have something. So I thought, like, what if I have something that it's the same local and deploy? So that's why I was thinking about having it in a container. And I thought also container was pretty cool to have a database because when you remove it, like you free up the resources. An SQL and a SQL server, like that's what I did there, like that other scripts. So here I'm using this, so Data API Builder, and you mount the file and you pass the configuration file. So that's what will scaffold the API. So I want to show you this. So here, so now it's kind of like stretch and there's a lot of things in it. If you install the DAB CLI, you could just say, hey, I want to add a table. And like then like you answer the questions, or you could edit those, like it's a JSON file. But what you do is you specify kind of like what you want. GraphQL. That's what I have. Like I was like the query stuff. GraphQL. So you say, hey, I want enabled API. I want to enable GraphQL. Maybe you don't want this, so you could say false. And then you specify the cores. You could have specific credential, authentication, the way it will be working. The mode, you have different modes. So development, it could be a set of rules. And then when it's production, a different set. So like you could do all define that. And after that, you specify your entities. So here you can see I had room, body search, adventure, weapon maneuver, weapons, armor pieces, and then you specify for each of them what you want. So like for that specific, the source of, I'm sorry, So you specific the table, if it's a table, if it's a store procedure, the name of that thing, how do you want it to be called, the way it will be working for the REST or for the GraphQL. And in GraphQL, like plural and singular and stuff like that, and you could say, hey, relationship, if there's some kind of relationship for, let's say, a weapon have different set of maneuver, and you would like to have it brought in the one single stuff in GraphQL, you could do that. And that was why initially, when we pick in the UI, we pick the weapon. I was like, I would love to have not be forced to do like another query. I wish I could just like load up like the weapon with all the maneuver and then like just filter when you pick a weapon, just filter the maneuver. But instead, right now, what I do is to call because I'm using REST. But if I was using GraphQL, I could have done it just like one call to the database. And it's not all the weapon, because when you start, there's a subset and it's only 3 like you have only 3 options to get started. That's why at that time I was like, oh, that could be cool. At that time when I initially worked that, GraphQL for me looked complicated and I was not sure. After that, I did some investigation. I was like, oh, I can now understand I could be using it. I just thought, you know what, okay, it's cool, it's there, it's working, so I won't touch it. But I think in the future I will change it maybe to use GraphQL, because I will be able to run a bit more fancy or precise or optimized queries. And that, so yep, you define the stuff, magic potion. That's it for me right now. Like role, it's anonymous. You could decide, oh, like to be able to access that table, you need a certain specific role and stuff like that. So like there's a lot of flexibility, and you just, that one file will just like scaffold the full database. Pretty cool. The volume is low. Testing. Oh yeah, it looks low. I could boost it. Is it better? Is it better this way? The music is low though, right? I think it was just in pause. I can boost it. I just feel that if I'm boosting it too much, you will hear like a bzzz all the time. GraphQL is something I'm about to start looking at for my project. I've created a read for, yeah, that's cool. If you want to learn, like I feel like I'm plugging a lot my show, but let me show you something. Again, in that I shared earlier, where was? Let's do it again. AKA open it mask. I did an episode about GraphQL. There, I'll put it in the chat. So so Jerry is the PM on the product, and that's the 3rd episode we did on Data API Builder DAB, and is like showing how things works and like how to set up stuff. It's pretty cool. Like, so in 16 minutes, you have a very good idea of like how to implement it and start using it. Do you have a NVIDIA GFX card? On that laptop, no. Why are you asking? Deflux. I use NVIDIA to remove all background noise. Oh no, well, I'm one of the new things I bought. I treat myself during the holidays is I bought a Streamer X from Rode. and now I have you know, spin buttons. I could like crank up the volume, and I have a new mic now. Also, before my mic was USB, now it's the big plug. I always forget the name. And I feel like if I go higher than, yeah, XLR, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, chat. Like, you know, what could I do? Well, you know, without you, I'm nothing. Yeah, so I find out that if I crank higher than half of it, then, and like in my, at least when I was testing it, I was hearing a fizz. So that's why I'm keeping it low. But it's the first time I stream with it, so maybe my mic was a little bit further away. This morning I was trying to have everything, and I couldn't hear. Oh, like it's that's distracting. Voila. Is it better? I was getting in twice, I think. So yeah, I was trying to get all in it, and it didn't work the way I wanted this morning. Yeah, okay, so I show you the dab. So that's how I create the Docker Compose. So I think what we could do is like do this. In fact, what we could be using is this one. So Docker Compose. Like right now I'm having DevBox. But instead of DevBox, it could be like an Nginx, or like I forgot the image for oh, maybe I could try it. I know there's now Docker stuff, container things in directly in .NET. So I could say, hey, publish template container or something like that. Maybe you could wrap up my app. And we could try to deploy it in 3 containers. Just use this. Okay, let me show you quickly the app itself. So what else do I have here? Yeah, okay, so let's close this. Let's go into the Solution Explorer. I love that thing. It's pretty cool. So let's go here. I have 2 projects. I did start a service where I put some classes here. My goal was like I could do some unit tests, or I don't know, try to have things grouped together. I'm not sure we'll keep it that way. It's not the best structure right now. It's very confusing. I know, for example, oh, is it in the project? No, I have like, yeah. So here I have preview. Preview, it should be, so like preview is that little table that I didn't decompress. So there's a better term for that in the code. I forgot what it was. Is what is it? Object, communication object, transfer object, tug. I forgot tug. I forgot what it is. There's like an acronym I could use that would be more specific to what it is. Not serialization is like that type of class mean that it's shader. Nah, I feel like it's tuck. Like it means like it's an object, so that's why there's a O. Transfer object database, or DOD. I forgot what it is, but it's an acronym that means like it's an object that you read straight from the database, and it's not yet ready for like the DTO. Yes, database transfer object, right? And when I did that, I didn't think about this, and see, I'm still having trouble remembering the acronym. That's why I put preview. So every time you see preview, it's that straight reading from the database, and it's not kind of fancy yet. So for example, if I go here, then like right now we're reading adventure. So an adventure has an ID. an adventure. Oh, let's move in the other side. Adventurer name, a level, because you could be a different floor. Was not sure, but like in the book, it's called level. So that's why I put level. But in my head, it was making more sense floor. But I'm trying to use the same vocabulary as in the book. Last save time, serialization object, same thing I was doing. Oh yeah, that's a thing also. So like the preview or the DTO has that serialized object in it. And if you go adventure, the full one, then you won't have that. Like it will be the full property stuff. So if I go, so that was adventure preview. If I go in adventure, the full one, now I have like ID adventure, and it's like an object. And then I have a dungeon. So like, it's really kind of like a full object, and I serialize that and save that. So when I kind of like load the adventure, I remember all the room you did, all the action, your status, like everything that happens, I will remember it. That's what I thought. So I have all the stuff here. I put some definition that I like, favor of God, that I like, it's a thing in the book, so I put it there. I have exits. I was not sure, like I did in the past a text adventure game, and I'm kind of like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need that. That was good. Like, so I kind of like put back stuff there, but like I think it, oh, I'm hiding it. I put stuff there, but I'll probably have to clean it. And the other one, the other project here is the really the app, the web app. What can I show? So I have like, when we start with the index, and that's where the Fluent stuff is pretty cool, right? So you have Fluent label, and then like you put a label and say, hey, Fluent stack. So that will just be able to stack. You specify if you want horizontal or vertical, and it will just like stack all the component. It's okay. Let's say I want to do like a, so I put here 2 buttons. If you remember, I had 2 buttons, right? Let's go here. Is it still running? I think it's still running, right? Forgot what. I think I stopped it. Yeah, I stopped the yeah, I stopped it. It's not running anymore. But I had 2 buttons, so you do this, and then after that you go and go to the page. So I have a bunch of share pages, so you can say, hey, I want to go and like adventurer picker, and like I'm like Fluent data grid. Oh, the fun thing also is like a data grid since .NET 8. So this is running. I started in .NET 6, upgrade to .NET 8, and in .NET 8 Blazor had that pretty cool grid optimized with a bunch of stuff. Fluent, the data grid in Fluent is using that new grid, so I was happy also to use that. So you just say, hey, I want a data grid. Whoop. On a data grid, it will be mapped on my model here, adventurer queryable, and like then say, okay, I want different columns, and just set the properties, and it just work. And you could have a button. And cool place with the button is oh, I want to show you. It's another. Let's go. Adventure picker maybe. Yeah. So one thing you could do is, I don't know if you remember, but had like icons at many different places, and that's also Fluent. So here, when I create that button, right? So I say, hey, let's go here, and I'm too big. I need to. I'm tired of saying it. Let's try to. Frank, you're big. You're a big fat guy. Come on, go in the corner. Smaller. Let's go smaller. That's better. And if I go in the other corner, where is the camera? Camera. Ah. And in the middle, could be smaller too in the middle. You don't need to see me that big. Ah! Ha! That's better. Boom. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, need to switch back the mouse. So yeah, so I could be, can you hear me now? Okay, did I fix the sound problem? So in the bottom, fluent button, appearance, I say accent, you have different option if you want. And then you could just say, hey, icon, start or icon end, depending on where you want that icon. And say, hey, create a new icon, and you have all those icons. So you just specify the one you want. And mine was add the size 20. And it just do that and say on click, do this stuff, this action, and this is the display. And to have the list of all the icons, you just need to go Blazor. I don't know, Fluent UI Blazor. Forgot. Fluent. I think that's the website I'm looking for. Sound is perfect for me. Cool. Thank you, TBD. Yeah. Yes, it is. So icon and emoji. So like you have that. I think it was here. Let me put that also link. In the chat. What? Did any of the URL I share show up for you? Why am I not seeing it? Did like the other? Yeah, the other works. For why this one doesn't work? Am I just disconnected? But that one didn't. Okay, this works. And if I do this. Okay, I don't know why. It's the second time I paste that URL, but I only see it once. Maybe because I was disconnected. I don't know. So that's the page I'm showing you. So like here, like it shows you. I can, and I know my screen is big. Let's go a little bit smaller. So we have example, and like they show you the code to do it. It's a pretty cool page. And you have the icons. So like if you want I'll show you icons. So to use icons, you need to have another package. So like if you want the emoji and the icon, you will have to add 3 NuGet package to your project. But then you just do that thing where you say, hey, I want an icon, regular size, and this here where you can have everything. So you could just say add. And it will show you all the add button. You could decide that I want accent. I want the warning one. I want the field version of it. And you could pick different size. So size 32. So you have that. So you could pick, and then like, let's say you want to add square. You just say, I want this. So it will put the code snippet you need and just paste that into your code. It's fantastic. Really helpful. And like you have the exam for everything. And they keep adding and adding new stuff. Pretty cool. I love it. So now I could focus on like the backend stuff, and like the UI is solid. I love it. Let's going back to the code. What else did I want to show you? It was mostly that, I think, showing you a few fluent things, and then oh yeah, let's say when I want to load something. So if I go in Adventure Create, let's say I want to load them. Like right now, it's not that pretty, but so to fill up the object, the list. So I create queryable. I'm just calling my service and I just say, hey, get armor pieces. So if I go in the service, right now I have like all the code is available there. So it's okay, cool. I want the armor pieces, so it's probably in the armor rooms, weapon menu, armor pieces. So get armor pieces. So just say, hey, do this, call that, and call armor pieces. Because the API, remember, the scaffold API was just, I'm doing full rest. I'm saying, hey, give me the table armor pieces. You could do fancier stuff also. I think I have here, I have one for the weapon maneuver. So I was adding a filter. Is it too small? Let me just putting in the screen. Yeah, we have it here. So I will zoom it. So here, so I was saying weapon maneuver, and then I had a filter, and I was specifying the level equal the level, because you could have different weapon maneuver based on the level that you are. So like that's why, and weapon ID. So like for example, if I have an axe is not the same as a longsword, so like different type. So you could do stuff like that, but you with the rest, obviously you cannot bring data from two tables. You know, if I was doing GraphQL, I could have done that in one query, say, hey, give me all of that, and then like matching the maneuver, and then I could just filter in my app instead. That's it. I think, yeah, here same. I was room rolling off because I want just the size. Forgot why I did that though. And when I want a specific one, then I say, hey, this ID, and then I pass the ID in the query, right? Get room, a specific room. Same for a player and stuff like that. But this is how I do it. I think we're good. What time is it? I still have a few minutes to go, right? I didn't show much. Are you curious to see like how I implement the mapping stuff? Let's go quickly over that. So next time I could just like assume it's done, or at least I will have a video kind of documented of like where it is. I think that's in the page, the adventure. Is it? Nope. Oh, play. Right. So in the play, I have a Canva here. Let's go back in my other corner. Zoom. So I have a Canva I call .canva, and after that I had a bunch of functions that are just called. I did change how I was doing that. Map tool. Oh, yeah, that's true. I tried to regroup them. So I have an abstract class that that does that. So if we go in map tools, I'm just invoking some JavaScript function. So most of it is draw a room or things like that, draw a door. And if we go in JavaScript side, where is it? In script, voila. Then I have all my stuff where I like draw the dots, for example, to do like a full dot. I was not sure how to show that in the book. They was using dot, and I thought it was great. I thought it was simpler. Like if I was doing a full grid, I thought it would be kind of like too massive. So dot I thought was pretty cool. So I kept that idea. and then like drawing a room, so like where it is positioned, the width and the height of the room, and I'm doing that. And after that, I'm drawing the door, and yeah. So all the function are in www.root script. I have a file with all the JavaScript stuff. That's how it's work. So now we saw all the code. So I think we could start investigating how we can work to deploy that in the container app. We can stop that. So 2d6 S down. Forgot how I did it. Yeah. Told you it's been a long time since I code, stream, all of it. Okay. So Azure Container App. Container App. Boom. Let's see. Yeah, that's not what I want to see. I want to see the ducks. Create a multi-container app. Ah, that's what I want to see. But I know I will need with a volume. Use storage, voila. Now we have everything. Excellent, excellent. So, tutorial, create a multi-container. Oh, it's in preview? I don't know it was in preview. App in a web app container. Cool, prerequisite. Let's read that. So, web app for a container, provide a flexible Docker image, like, yeah. So it's using WordPress and MySQL. That's perfect. I'm also using MySQL, but I guess the container WordPress will be pushing the stuff in MySQL. I don't know. Or maybe MySQL comes already pre-built for us. We're building it with containers, like with scripts. I mean, sorry. This trial, you convert a Docker Compose configuration to work. Oh, okay. So I thought it was like the same, but it's not. It makes sense though. Like it's not exactly the same. I'm assuming it's pretty close, right? Deploying the multi-container app to Azure. Add application settings. Use we could try to deploy, just to keep it simple. We could try to deploy the API. And if we have an API running in Azure, that's kind of a big victory already, because I think like the app right now is not Rapid Container anyway. And I still have about 30 minutes to go. So yeah, so connecting to the database. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Okay, prerequisite. To complete the tutorial experience, you need Docker Compose. Well, I have some kind of experience. Download the sample. Oh no, I would like to work with my own. For this tutorial, we use the Comper blah blah blah. My throat is starting to hurt a little bit also, so I think stopping in 30 minutes is a good idea. Okay. In this sample below, note that depends on is unsupported option and it will be ignored. Or at least it doesn't generate errors, because we also use, right? I think I will be migrating. Let's go back in this one. So I think No, I think the plan is that's what we decide. You didn't say anything. You had the option to say, no, Frank, we want to do this. You didn't say anything. So we'll be doing this one with the API and the server. It's kind of the same thing they have, except that the API box, instead of being WordPress, will be the API builder. Okay, so that's their... Oh, cool, and they have this. Okay. So here they have like their Docker Compose. In the Cloud Shell, create this. Create a resource group. Okay. Let's create... Do I do a deployment folder? I could do that, right? Deployment. I think eventually I could be using, I don't know if Docker Container, I start playing around with Azure CLI Developer, AZD, and Biceps. I'm just learning it. I know I'm late in the game, guys, but it's pretty cool. But for today, let's do it. Voila. So we'll create a group. Do I have the... I don't have the extension. Let's add the extension. Did you know there's a great extension for Azure CLI? What? I have it. Or maybe... Oh, it's AZCLI, the extension, right? Yeah, AZCLI. That's why. That's why. Okay, let's go back here. Let's rename this. So now I could just do this and say run in the terminal, or do the control that column. No, quote. Refresh the token. I need to do AZ login. Let's do an AZ login. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming now I need to cool. Let's clear that. AZ account. show. Let's go in this mode for just a few seconds. I think I'm in the good one. Okay, so now we want to create again that group. Now I need to do this instead, apparently. Linux. Control-Shift-C. Okay, come on. Use AZ login tenant to explicitly word the tenant. Okay, so if I do this and this, whoops, I need a space. That change. Was it the secrets? It's new, that thing. Yeah. Okay, can I create a damn... Whoops, that's what I want. Confirm, what? And I'm just having a lot of trouble concentration. I have my dog just like... Shh. I've been talking to Deflux Stream to try and get over my cloud fear. Yeah, well, I don't... Why it's not working? I mean, we could go... I was working, but I was not in that subscription. I feel like I'm maybe not in the good subscription. I will go secret for a few seconds. So I will less be worry about what's showing up in the screen. So let's clear. Let's do okay. And I want... So right now I'm listing all the subscription. And I want to pick one. Okay, so AZ account set subscription. Okay, so now if I do AZ group list, due to a configuration change made by your administrator, or because you move to a new location, you must use a multi-factor authentication to access blah, 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 blah. Interactive authentication needs, please run. But I did that. Okay, let's try again. So it's asking me to say AZ login and then the scope. with the default. I thought I did. So I'm running it again. So I want to show you quickly. I'm running this command. So AZ login, scope, management, core / default. So that's what I'm running right now. A web browser. Okay, cool. So now it's popping to authenticate. Come on. So I say, okay, I'm connecting here. You have login into Microsoft Azure. Okay. So now I have that new thing again. Oh, tenant ID. And before I use the tenant name, that's why probably, right? Okay, so let's do this. So I'm doing this. And before I pick the tenant name, now let's go with the tenant ID. Again, I need to pop me a browser, pick my name. Now I have my two-factor authentication. Damn, that thing is secure, right? You would think I'm the president of a huge company. But that's my money, right? Okay, so now if I clear the screen, whoops, come on. Clear the screen, close those windows so I could see. Come on, close, close, close. Voila. Okay, and I can share that. Okay, so now if I do AZ group list, okay, now I see all the groups. Can I see group list and output table? No, say out table. Yeah, cool. So now I have a lot of stuff running in. Damn it. Okay, cool. Clear. So now we should be able to create our user group, our resource group. So AZ group create. Should just create. Yay! So now we have that. Cool. All that for this. Cool. Okay, so now go back to that tutorial stuff. Now we want to create a service plan. Service plan is kind of defining the resource you will have in terms of, like, think about like a VM kind of thing. So we'll copy that and we'll bring it here. I should have created some variable, but it's fine. Service plan, let's call it 2D6 service plan. Okay, cool. So now let's save this, and now I could just do control this. I will create my service plan. So I just execute the command, the line that was highlighted to go this. What is it? This X. That was Windows. No. Windows X. Nope. Alt Z. What it is? What is it? Control Z. I don't think it's Control Z. No, Control Z is undo. Today I identify. But today I identify 10,000 by year of unused service plan. That's a lot. I don't have that budget. So I have my service plan created. So Docker Compose with WordPress and MySQL. Create a Docker Compose app. Okay. Okay, so let's copy this and learn what's in there. So resource group need to be resource group. Service plan need to be service plan. The app name, we'll call it 2D6 Dungeon app. And it's a multi-container configuration, compose, multi-container, Docker compose, and then this. And here we'll was it just API? Yeah, was it API? So we'll call it API again, right? It's very easy to end up. Most dev don't realize service plan costs money. Oh. That's pretty cool. No, I'm pretty good at running low. So the way it works at work is like we have subscription, and obviously our subscription passed last. So a lot of us lost our subscription, but mine was so low that I kind of passed under the radar and I kept it for a little bit longer. And now like everybody get back an Azure subscription, but mine was so low because I'm always trying to trim and like run super low. Even if I have a lot of stuff, it's like turn off, or like it's very, very low budget. So I always kind of like run super low. I'm always trying to monitor everything to make sure I don't spend money that I don't intend to use. Okay, so now I need to create that file, I'm guessing, right? And so in the deployment, right here, let's create a new file. It will be Docker Compose API YAML. And but so, oh, that's the file, but it looks exactly the same. Yeah, people don't like. You need to monitor your stuff inside the cloud. Like if you're not using it, it's easy to forget. So look like it is like a regular. So why they say they have some kind of conversion? There's no conversion. But it won't work. Oh yeah, the problem here is those two container, they didn't need to have they had amount stuff, right? Volume. But nothing was there. So here, storage mount in Azure Container App. So I'll have to learn that a little bit more. Okay, so what I will do is, I'm just having a lot of trouble focusing with my dog crying beside me. What I will do is I will add those pages in the notes. Sorry, let's turn that off. So I think it's exclamation point notes. Forgot what's the let's go in my repos. What's the action to add notes? And next time we'll have like the pages and stuff, and we'll be ready to kind of like, or maybe I will like try a little bit offline, so next time we could go okay, so note, just note. Okay, so not plural, note, and that was a multi, no storage, no storage, that's the URL, and that one is with storage. So note config storage. I think I will read a little bit more about it also. So next time, instead of like reading with you, I will be able to kind of like go through kind of explaining a little bit more. Cool, so we have that. So now let's stop. Let's save. That I save. Nobody played today. Nobody plays the game. Weird. Maybe it's not in anymore to play the drop game. Maybe it's totally out. I'm still not landing. Oh, all the butts are there. Surely someone will. Oh, maybe surely they have. Ah, it was close. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you all. Should we raid? Well, we have 8 viewers, so maybe we could raid. Let's find someone. Let's not go too quickly. Who's streaming today? Let's try to see that. Who can we raid? Since we're a few. Oh, so we could go with Finite, or we could go with White Panther. So White Panther is working on performance, and Finite is obviously doing super cool stuff. Whoop, is it? Oh, it's an ad. It's an ad. Is OBS dev? Yeah, I feel it's been a while since I raid Finite, so we could do that. So oh, now I can hear myself, so I fixed that part. Interesting. Okay, so let's do that. And the command for that, it's on my part. Oh, is he still there? Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do this. Raid. Finite. They work? Yeah. Cool. So thank you, everybody. We'll be raiding in a few seconds. Mr. Singularity, send him love. Have fun, have a good weekend, and see you next week. Hopefully I'm getting better, and we'll deploy that app in Azure. It's a promise. We'll get there. Have fun. Bye-bye.